All right, so what we have here is a producer's commentary on Superheroes Registered. I'm Justin Horowitz,
and I'm Ford Fischer.
I'm Frankaville.
And she is the new producer of the show. So we just thought at one point, it'd be fun to just kind of go back, look at these episodes, kind of talk about where we came from, our humble origins from 2 years ago, and where we are now as a show, and just kind of bring our perspectives in on it.
We wanted this chance to make fun of Justin's flaws and admire my strengths and Frankie's strengths as well.
Yes, especially in this episode, my strengths.
Yes, exactly. To those who are watching this and have never seen Superheroes, which is an audience of probably 0 that fall into that demographic, so Justin was the original producer and the creator of the show, and this was his final episode that this anthology will conclude with. He produced a total of 5 episodes. I produced episodes 2 through 5, and Frankie, who joined us for episode 4 and 5, will become the new producer as of episode 6, which is yet to be created.
Yeah, technically he joined us episode 3, actually.
Oh yeah, you're right. No, you're right.
But yes. So if any of you have followed our show, you can tell this is a very radically different version at the beginning. We kind of evolved from a not so effective PR comedy to that of a very dark drama and stuff like that. But yeah,
with no PR whatsoever.
But this was actually filmed at the Eagle, and I'd like to give a personal shout out right now to Zach Cohen, who let us film at the Eagle like several times. I know ATV and the Eagle don't always have their things, but I thought this was a really great moment of Eagle just stepping in and helping us out, actually. So I
would note that that's not even the Eagle's office anymore. They actually lost that little like closet thing.
Oh, they did.
That's not theirs anymore.
Oh, fun fact. But yeah, like, I'm trying to think what I was gonna say. Like I don't know. You guys take it from here. Frankie, you have anything to say right now?
I would remind both of us that it's okay to just watch, right? We don't have to be talking every single moment.
But anyway,
right? It's just like life. Like we can just sit here and be friends.
I don't know about you.
Well, that's why you're like my successor. It
Good.
makes sense.
Good.
Don't start crying on us now, Justin. It's a little too early.
It's kind of funny.
Oh, the days when Joanna was in this show. When we originally made this, I think Justin intended for Joanna to be like a character that would stick around forever.
No, actually I didn't.
Oh, really?
She was actually the opposite. I actually initially imagined her character actually being written off in a really funny way. Like it was gonna be like something that no one expected. But it was gonna make total sense, and it was gonna be like it would have been a way to just to make it just easier. But I knew Joanna, shortly after getting involved, was not going to be there for a while, just because she just had so much. She's such a multitasker, she just does so many different.
She's the one who initially told Celeste and I about the show.
Oh, really?
Oh, wait,
yeah,
she
I didn't know about
she was a PA on my
I'm gonna high five her the next time being there, because she gave us my successor and a great person to work with. So props to her for that.
You're getting way too excited about this.
Oh, and here's what was his name?
Jordan Halsey.
Right.
He's actually was one of my favorite actors to work with. Actually,
he was very good.
And he's also such a nice guy. He's so nice that I was concerned about how good he was going to be at the character, because I was like, I don't know how I'm going to imagine you come off as so bitter. This was the last scene filmed for the first episode, actually. Filmed down in the freezing cold in December. Props to them for being strong in spite of that.
People are starting to
He has
think
muscle
that's
man, that's true. His muscles speak for him.
Yeah.
Just like mine.
That was actually my first thing I filmed. That's actually the first thing I've ever worked on with Brendan Faye, and he's one of my favorite, all-around favorite people to work with.
I think he just said a swear word. I think he just said a swear word. Who wrote that?
You need to remind him that
funny,
he does not
because this character's really funny.
Do you write to your mother with that hand?
Yes.
How dare you write him swears? That's you swearing. That's not Jordan swearing.
Yeah. Care to speak for my voice?
Yeah.
Sure, the sponsors.
Wow, what a different show. It's gone so dark. It's so
like
lighthearted.
Well, let's not give away the
That's
ending
bullshit.
yet, though.
Make something up.
Good call.
Did he just say
Lying is
bullshit?
synonymous in public relations.
Is that appropriate, Justin? Did you write that too?
That's only half true.
Did you write this filth?
Don't just
Somewhere in the
realize
22%
there's actually a lot of his character that came into your character,
I
actually.
won't lie.
Because he's kind of like all right with like lying and just kind of just manipulating things a lot, like for his job, and kind of you are like the same thing.
That's an interesting observation.
Like, I
would agree with that.
I don't know. I'm just very interested in characters that are very manipulative. I just think it's
Stretch
like
the truth
it's just something I think I
third
write
word.
really well. Like like characters just bullshits everyone really
Walter
effectively.
White's not manipulative at all.
Understatement of the year.
What a clean
well,
transition.
We can improve Iron Man's image
What a
to
great noise.
That pumpkin, right? That pumpkin has been in almost every episode, actually, because of the previously ons and the
if you're looking for a good PR
right. Because of previously ons, that pumpkin's been in everything.
Yeah, that shot was actually filmed with Dolly. That shot that moves in the pumpkin. It was one of the few times you see ATV Dolly.
Is that
Yep,
a limited
but I never
edition
know
44th
if you-
anniversary
it never
Octagon
feels-
laser ring with
Oh, that was
It is.
Octagirl's laser
I
ring,
was just about to say that. I was like,
which
what's
later
How'd you get
became
that?
Celeste's.
I
Yeah.
We're so
worked
clever
3 jobs
integrating
in
all
college,
these
sold a
things.
few earrings,
on
and
purpose.
Yeah,
sacrificed my dignity.
anytime
But
I
it
get a
was
chance to
worth
go back to the history and
High
bring it
five.
back, that's what I do. That's my favorite thing about
It's
it.
funny to see a reference to that was a person who did not even go to AU yet. She was Octagirl, like as a senior in high
What's your
school, but
favorite
she just
edition of
didn't know.
Octagon?
Well, I think it has to be the one where oh my god, it's Muscle Man.
Oh my god!
Muscle- Brennan Faye's a big deal.
Here you go. Ready to insult you with less mercy than the bombing of Hiroshima. How
Fun
about
fact
yourself?
of the way we shot that scene is whenever you see a shot of him behind the arm, Brendan doesn't have any makeup on. The reason why was because he had to film a broadcast for ATV News at the exact same time. He filmed our scenes first with the makeup, and then he filmed it without the
He used to be
makeup. And
so
so we
adorable.
cleverly
I had
came
this
up with a
poster
shot
of you
where
on my wall,
we just filmed
and I
behind
just
his shoulder.
spent
I just
every
realized the
minute of it.
continuity
So
error.
jealous because I got it and I
Megan's
didn't
hair
want it.
changed. Before it was wet and pulled back, and now because that was a day lapse, now her hair is dry and forward.
Wow.
We're gonna have to reshoot that, Justin.
I say make sense. I mean,
Megan, can
actually
you come
make
back to the
sense.
show and reshoot episode 1 again?
I'll give Megan a call.
As
And
far
let
as
her
I'm
know.
concerned, punching Crocodile Man in the face reminds everybody I'm a supreme badass.
Did you just say ass, Justin? Have you represented every swear you can think of?
Not yet.
Oh, well, yeah, mine is these days.
Fred's so good at playing an asshole. That's used to be his whole thing.
Or lose everything.
Yeah.
I won't do it. I won't
There's
throw
sort of
away
a,
my
I
pride
mean,
like
you
I
could
threw
say
away Crocodile
that
Man's when
Why
I
Am I
punched
Always
him
the
in face.
Asshole was like a
Muscle
spiritual
I have
sequel
one
to
word
this
for
in a
you.
way.
Shut the fuck up!
It was
Jesus, Justin!
I always
The
like.
language.
I always like that line. I have one word for you. Shut the fuck up. 4 words. I always really like that line.
I know, that is pretty funny. Actually, no, I did respect that. That was a good use of
Screw
humor.
you!
Fun fact: I filmed this whole scene with just a camera, like by myself, both holding the camera and the boom pole simultaneously.
You were holding the pole, you didn't mount it?
Nope, did not mount it. Held the boom pole.
This is
Oh,
that
Yeah, what
light.
mistakes have you made?
It's very shaky. But the really funny thing is, like when I push into her,
the end of the world.
like as I'm pushing into her,
Like, all I
I'm
had
holding the
left was
boom pole. The boom
me
pole actually
and
doesn't
Ben
hit
and
Brennan's
Jerry's.
shoulder.
I thought
Oh.
that was
I actually
all
managed to
had
pull
left.
that off, and it was really weird. And I didn't
I
also
did a good
didn't.
job.
That was a pretty close up.
Yeah, I also didn't tell her I was moving the camera up.
Like,
And
it's good. Like,
Octagon
all
and sit
5
back here, boy.
episodes, like, have their faults.
And then I realized
Yeah,
that
no,
I can
yeah.
work with superheroes.
I feel like that could have used a reaction.
I can help out here. Superheroes Registered.
Yeah,
I'm being critical.
I don't know. Yeah, like
He was alone.
If you want to hear
at the
another
time,
story about failure,
I was
I
like
can tell you
very
the
like,
first time I took
if
a
an
shot.
actor
We
really
like that
shows
close
off,
up.
I just want to keep
Yeah.
the actor.
Oh,
He's progressed as a filmmaker.
11 a.m.
They're 10:55 exactly.
Oh, this was a funny transition.
That is honestly one of my favorite shots I did for the show because I don't know, I just like revolving shots a lot.
He's so funny.
You know you almost
He's
screwed
very
everything
good
up.
about it. He actually does a lot of stuff
Oh.
right now for
I don't
AEW.
understand.
If you
If a
ever-
client leaves, you
It's
let
kind of
him
a play.
leave. You could have
I
sued
know a lot
you
of
and this
people
company
that
for
players
harassment. As our legal
You must be
consultant,
pretty
you
cool.
especially
I'm
should have
super
known better.
I disagree.
Sorry,
There's no use in apologizing.
but rest assured he
Don't worry,
will
though.
be
As
there
my
tomorrow
co-producer,
at
I'll make you
10:55
cool.
a.m. exactly.
Okay.
Oh, that was the transition I was referring to. That she said he'll be here at 10:55 exactly, 11:02 exactly, and he's
Well,
not there.
guys, I have good
It's pretty much the story of
news.
my life.
The
Justin's always
With
late.
everybody on the crew.
No, it's everybody on the crew's fault. Justin's very
Like last year was really bad. Though you can ask Mal, and like she showed up 30 minutes.
So what's the good
first, like,
There's a
she said,
50%
like, I showed up 30 minutes
discount.
late to a shoot after Halloween night, and like.
You party hard.
Now that we heard Crocodile Man.
Oh yeah, I forgot about this. Justin very maturely decided that the news station in the world should be Channel 69 News, and I just got rid of that when Justin left for Prague and I produced the next episode. Nope, it's not Channel 69 anymore. Screw that.
I always found it really, I don't know, funny. Wow, your hair's so long in this.
That was back when I was a hippy dippy.
His hair was still fairly long.
Yeah.
It's still relatively long, but back then it was like.
What do you mean he's not going to be able to make it?
Oh yeah, I like putting my finger up to it, like as if
Apparently
like I
Muscle
have
Man's
like a
not gonna be
headset
able
of
to
some
make it
kind.
tonight.
Guess he's not a superhero after all, is he?
Shut up, Nancy.
Fun fact: I named Steve and Nancy. My parents' names are actually Stephen and Nancy Horowitz. Actually, so it was kind of.
So is your dad a reflection of this Steve?
Well, Freud was right.
They actually aren't at all. That's a really funny part. Is they really are only similar in name. Actually, my parents actually are like some of the. They actually get along really nicely. Actually, they're like I've had.
And your dad is a misogynist?
Nope, he's not. Proud to say that as his son.
Good. As his son.
That's where Justin got all his good values.
No,
Why did we laugh? I say Justin has good values and he laughs because he knows it's not true.
No, I get a lot of good values actually from my dad.
Well, Chicken McChicken is one of Muscle Man's biggest sponsors. He always shows up to their events.
That's actually one of the last scenes we filmed for episode 1. Actually, right there.
That face.
That was a good face. Oh, I like this chicken thing. Which that was back when the tavern was the tavern. Now it's not the tavern
Listen,
anymore.
the show has already started.
You said that 5 times already.
Yeah, that's because.
Oh, I also like I
TV
was
show that you're
drinking that
supposed to
cherry
be on
coke, and
has
then we
already
decided to
started.
use the cherry coke in
I'm not
addition
going
to
on
the
that
coke to make him look particularly like
Enjoy Chicken McChicken.
indulgent.
15% discount
Yeah,
on
that he needs 2 cokes
Look,
while everyone else has none.
To sacrifice my pride? Remember when you
This is sort of how Brendan is in real life. No, actually,
Brent's a sweetheart.
No, no. I meant the eating. That you can just power through it.
Oh, totally. He's the biggest eater I've ever met, actually.
But he's a nice guy.
help you, okay?
He's a
I'm
big.
glad that eating doesn't affect his
Yeah.
personality.
Everything was supposed to be perfect.
One of my favorite things also about this was Brendan actually got a haircut,
You'd rather enjoy a
like, in the
50%
middle,
discount
like, during
on
Thanksgiving
chicken
breaks. We
McNuggets
were
and
probably going to be done before
help
then.
help me.
And so, for his
I just
scenes
want
here,
everyone to like me,
for every
alright?
scene that was from that
My
Thanksgiving break, he has to wear a
hurt
hat.
hurts me and I just
Yeah,
wanna
but
go
it
home.
actually
Can't you
works.
understand that?
Oh, this
Megan
was
also-
sad, Megan.
Megan did really great during that scene.
Oh, and he hits the
Did she
chicken tender.
graduate or like
That was
what
my
happened to
tender,
her?
man.
I don't give a shit about your fucking chicken tender, you arrogant son of a bitch.
That was 3 different swears in one sentence, Justin. How dare you? I'll never be able to show this to my children someday.
Oh, you totally will.
Not till they're 12.
He's such a huge fan. Why did Muscle Man hit him?
Because Crocodile Man was being such a little.
I actually really like that moment. She's hearing on the applause. I think it's so well timed, actually.
Civilian from the dastardly threat of anarchy with the muscles of freedom.
Muscle Man, why don't
Used to
you
be like
just tell
a
us what
TV
happened
show,
last
and
week?
now it's
From
more
your
like a
perspective.
news.
No, it's like, yeah.
This perfectly nice young superhero interrupted me while I was saving little Peter's kitten from the tree.
I was there first, man. Not two.
I liked those stock audience sound effects.
Yeah.
Those
Or
were
might
really
even
good.
was
Do you know? Do you
just
really
some
like
stupid
them?
kid in a
I do.
crocodile.
No, I thought it something to it.
I made this
It's a
mess
totally
with my
different
bare
show
hands.
within the
No
show now,
sponsors.
though.
Yeah. One,
My sponsors bought me a
but just
flat
to comment
screen
on
TV
Jason,
and a
so one of my
chihuahua
favorite
from
things about
Australia.
Jason as an actor is that Jason's really good at playing just pathetic characters. The characters are just like falling on their face and just like pathetic. So I think he and Brendan play off each other so well.
All right, and just so everybody knows, we had a technical issue in which Justin's roommate entered the room and had us leave, and also we, upon playback, realized that there was a little bit of feedback going on, so we switched our audio system. So everything should sound better now. So
Yeah.
hello, everybody.
Hello, we're back.
And it all sounds better than before.
When Jason said that, he implied a greater social connotation beyond that of the show.
Mhm. Take 3, Justin fucked it up again. Oh, wait, I just said the F word. Classic Justin.
That's a classic, Justin.
Both of us here at Channel 69 have an
Oh.
awesome day.
Oh, I forgot about that. You like blatantly
Look at the
copied
table's
Anchorman,
moving.
and the table was moving.
Yeah.
Moving, but we did it anyway, and it was pretty funny.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness! Thank you. Muscle Man,
I'm not sure that Megan really did much for him to thank her for.
She was there for all the time. That
Yeah.
She was present. She encouraged him to. But then he went on and did exactly the opposite of what she told him to.
solid work.
Solid work.
He's so funny too.
Oh, this was funny.
Boom.
What?
So to give context of the ending, this actually wasn't in the original plot, but what happened was, so in the middle, near the end of our filming at the Eagle, like Zach Cohen asked, "Hey, like, you're not trying to film this for more than one episode, are you?" I'm like, yes. Okay, you can't do that. We've done a lot for you and stuff like that, but we just can't do that to the Eagles, and that's not right to them. And so I'm like, so we just gotta write out the location. So this whole scene is about writing out the location, and this idea for downsizing because of a issue on the TV was actually Zach Cohen's very own idea, actually, and I thought it was so hilarious. I was just like, this has to be it.
And then when I took over the show, actually, I have to point this out. That moment where Joanna picks up the phone, she has personally expressed to me many times that she was upset about that because we never actually edited in a phone ringing. She answered a phone that never rang.
Wait, she told you that? She didn't tell me that.
No, she told me that was very embarrassing to her.
Man's reputation did improve for beating up Crocodile Man in the air, but you guys didn't technically tell him to do any of that.
Exactly, Joanna's right, and her character right now.
You guys didn't really take control of the situation.
These are actually the moments I love, actually, as a writer. When we didn't get to do this much with the new we did this a little bit with the new episode, but I just like when characters are just like, yeah, you didn't really do what you were supposed to do. This is why.
This was good. Actually, I like this montage was the best part of the episode, I think.
Superheroes make us happy. We look up to superheroes for inspiration. Sure, some have their problems.
It's actually from the midnight, actually, in the Eagle.
Oh my god, look at that!
Schizophrenics, murderers,
I bet he's gonna become a superhero.
Yeah.
No, he never did.
He became one, just a lot more dramatic than I initially imagined. Actually, no, I did
Oh my
imagine
god,
it being
gloves! I didn't
He
realize
never
those
wore
had
those
the
gloves, actually, for the rest of the series, but we used that same
I think that might
felt
have been a
cape
good
and
call.
everything.
What the fuck are you smiling about?
Justin!
Stay tuned for episode 2.
But that was hilarious. Come on.
No, it was good. And so, yeah, this is... Ford wanted an assistant directing credit. He actually said to me, "Hey, Justin, I want an assistant directing credit," because Ford... As much as I love you and as much a great friend you are one of the biggest credit hoarders I've ever...
without Brittany? Like, that's gonna...
What?
What are we gonna do without Brittany?
And me as a writer.
Yeah.
Well, okay.
We'll all just drink the Kool-Aid.
I'll explain afterwards, actually, what the plan is. But
Justin, you're done. You're done producing. There's no plan.
No, but I was
No,
gonna
you're
say
not gonna
PT
write.
PT's actually interested in writing, or was interested in writing at the beginning of the year.
Well,
but yeah, what was I gonna say? I gotta be honest though, I'm gonna have an ego moment. Whenever I put created by Justin Horowitz in the credits, I feel very good about myself.
You'll always have that.
We'll turn the next episode into a spin-off so we can justifiably not add that.
And now this is episode 2.
So here begins the episode that Justin was not present for, and I produced with Sophia.
Yeah, to give context to this,
Where was Justin again?
I was in Prague.
He was in Prague.
And
I didn't know.
what happened was I started the episode the semester before going to Prague, knowing I was going to Prague, and having to find a successor. And I chose Ford, and Ford was like one of the. After Ford joined, 2 or 3 weeks into Ford's role on the show, I immediately recognized that he was like flat out the best candidate. Like it would have been like an idiotic move not to cast.
That's
cast
absolutely right.
No, but actually though, like I like talked to Guy about it, and I was almost certain about the decision. I was 95% certain. I asked Guy, "Do you think Ford is the best person to take over superheroes?" And he's like, "Yes."
Yeah, and I think it was because a lot of people came into ATV with the intention of learning kind of camera stuff, and I had in high school been very involved in these sort of things. I actually produced my school's film festival. So I kind of came in with some level of experience, but then I also had a whole episode. Oh, by the way, there was a little lens issue there if you look at the top right corner of that
I see
scene.
that, actually.
That's bothered me for the last 2 years, and I never brought it up.
Yeah, my bad.
No. I think I was filming at that day, and I think it's because the lens cap was like slightly twisted. But anyhow, I forgot about this. But my current roommate, played the guard at the time. He was not my roommate at the time.
Alejandro.
Alejandro. You pronounced that a little bit Lady Gaga-ish.
Alejandro.
No, that's exactly why Justin said it like that.
By the way, this was actually one of the really cool openings for the show. This was actually also produced by Sophia Snyder, who would have been invited to this commentary, as she was not currently in Prague right now doing awesome things.
Mm-hmm.
We love you, Sophia.
Doing exactly what Justin was doing. Goofing off. No, just kidding.
Making films for 4 days.
Yep.
And then drinking.
Only 4 days. And then
wait. Good line coming up here.
I personally prefer Boston cream.
I had to get a little bit of a cop stereotype in right there.
Okay, there you go.
And there was a
fun fact. I've not met this actress before. Yet.
Yeah.
She was the lead in my show, and I have not personally met this person or ever talked to them.
So her name's Elise, and I met her in Creative Writing Club.
That was a good effect. You really got the effects going for this show.
I would admit that I outsourced that effect to JC.
Mm-hmm.
JC Tecklenburg.
Yeah, but you're the one that filmed the effects, so you like helped. Yeah. You were very instrumental in.
Yeah, I filmed it and I wrote what was going to happen, but I didn't make those. But I did with the exception of this episode, I've done the effects for all of the episodes as well as the normal principal editing.
Yeah. The really funny thing was after I promoted you to produce, or technically asked you to be my successor for that semester. Essentially, you were like, you want to up the action, and so when I was watching this from Prague, I was like, well done. You got this right off the bat. That's a good shot, actually. That's a really cool...
I would note for the record that Elise is a theater major, and she's actually taken a class in stage combat. So, while I have experience with that kind of thing, and I could definitely have done it without that, she was certainly sort of an asset in knowing how to make those things look real on her own part. Oh, and here's our justification for Joanna and Jordan not being in it, and Superheroes Registered not existing in the show called Superheroes Registered.
I thought that was a really funny moment, and I always think the scene is well done.
And I really, really don't care. How intense.
Cheer up, Reynolds. At least you can go back to being a lawyer.
Oh, wait. You can't.
You know... Originally, I imagined her and him actually in a relationship at one point, and I wanted to really develop it over the season. But
Megan and Jordan?
Yeah, actually, their characters. I imagined them being in a relationship because I wanted to take two. I wanted to take two. I literally was like, I wanted to take two polar opposites, and over the course of 4 episodes, bring them together. So and so that was one of my little letdowns because I felt because they had such good chemistry on screen. I was just like, oh, this isn't happening.
Yep.
But you pulled off the transition very well, even though in Prague I sighed a little because I was like, oh, you're killing the firm. But I knew you had to do what you had to do because of the casting adjustments, and you pulled it off in a very dignified and very in character way. Like the way they leave is very in character.
I have no income. I don't have an income because I don't.
I like talking out loud. And
that picture in the background, my sister has that in her house.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
This was Hannah Testa's apartment.
Yeah, right there. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Not that that's relevant. Just that
$200 because I don't have an income because I don't have a job.
This is good.
It was a good moment for her acting wise. I just felt like I was just like, why is she talking to herself like this? Like, not to be critical, but you know,
yeah.
David, where are you? David, please call me back.
Darn it.
I want to see the Grand Canyon.
Wait, that was a point?
What?
Okay, I didn't pay attention to that part. And this
that was funny. So this was another co-producer. Whenever I have someone on the show with me, it's a co-producer, except Carly.
Hi, welcome
back
to Stephen Lawrence.
So, there's only her and me then, so.
Right, so then, yeah. But with Frankie, we didn't know it yet.
It's true.
Well, the thing that was really funny, this started a long-run joke of this helped start a long-run joke of, of casting a new ex-wife for his character each time, actually.
But now I've stuck with Frankie. She's my
We're going steady as exes.
Permanent exes.
And here's the first appearance of Jeff.
As Captain Jack Hopper.
It is. That's so exciting.
And the thing that was really funny, really great about this was, like, before this moment, I did not know that Jeff could act. I did not know that he ever did act. So when I saw it, I was like, I initially was like, oh no, like, Ford's just casting him because he needs another cast member because he's a crew member. But then I was watching, the more I watched it and the more I saw his performance, I was like, okay, this Jeff is actually really good. Like, he's actually, like, really entertaining, and I love watching him. And he's actually the comic relief of the episode, actually, which I really like. And he's just, even if he's not always truthful, he just, you can't take your eyes away from him acting-wise. He just commands.
Actually, so let's let the people watch this particular part, because this was his first oddity.
Yeah.
I believe.
That candid angle. Canted angle.
Yes, sir.
What a great expression from him. That.
Here you go.
That'll be $5,000.
5,000?
I don't know what I was thinking with that moment.
I didn't know what you were thinking either.
Cha-ching, and then she's out. Like, that's how bail works. They use, like, a 1950s cash register.
In this world, that's how bail works.
Lasering is collateral for your bail?
That was really nice. But who are you?
I should have brought that in for the previously on several episodes later when that becomes a thing. That sets up a whole story.
Come on.
This is when shit gets dramatic.
Yeah.
You're gonna, like, murder me for something, are you?
There was still a little bit of comedy there.
Why would I bail
That was
you out
kind
of
of
jail
funny.
just to murder
A
you?
little bit, yeah.
I don't know.
You could be a crazy serial killer for all I know. I don't know you.
A serial killer who bails her victims out of jail before killing them? That makes no sense.
It might to a crazy serial killer.
I'm not a crazy serial killer. I'm Emily Reynolds. Former legal
I'm Emily Reynolds. I am the shit.
I gave you my card.
And how do I know you're actually
Watch your
Emily
language.
I don't know why we had her inquire so much about that. That was probably a little overblown.
Now we can get started. First, we need to get you on Steve's show, so you can tell your side of the story.
Steve, that's me.
That idiot lieutenant made you sound like some kind of environmental extremist hell-bent on making the human race extinct.
I don't want to make the human race extinct.
I mean, she basically was an environmental extremist. Like, that was actually a pretty accurate representation of her character.
Yeah, and that was like, yeah, like I like that.
You're a hero and not a villain. You really think so? Absolutely. But first,
This kind of starts to play around with the ideas that actually are going to be like later resurfaced with Alpha. Actually, the idea of like hero and villain. So I think that's kind of cool, actually.
It's nothing.
Oh yeah, I forgot about this. We made her.
Oh, you left that in. I didn't want you to leave that in. You left it in.
Yeah? What of it?
This is brilliant.
Green girl. Holy shit.
In retrospect, it probably would have been easier to use makeup rather than to CGI her arm green.
I don't know why you did
Is
that.
that
Actually,
what you did?
We
Yeah, that was
always
fake.
had your eye.
To all you people watching this on YouTube, rewind that and look at it, and you can tell that it's kind of animated, but you won't notice on just one viewing.
Nobody wants to hear her side of the story.
I had to fix my collar. I did that whole thing with like my suit collar all screwed up. Look at that.
You don't care that
It's like hanging over the jacket a little bit.
The thing that's really,
Why is she turning green?
the thing
The
that's really,
music makes me kind of sad.
yeah, it's a dramatic. The thing that's really cool about this episode is it really actually starts to set up Steve as like a legitimate character beyond like that of his TV show. You get to see like a character of his outside the show. Even though he's honestly not that much different outside the show, he's a rather blunt individual. Very blunt, you know.
I just...
Good.
Wow, I had long hair.
Yeah, you did. I forgot about that.
I'm sorry, but your hair, I repeat, your hair is still very long.
Nowhere near as long as that. That's like fucking ridiculous, actually.
Yeah,
Damn it, Justin, watch your fucking mouth.
what if she did something else?
She definitely wouldn't be stupid enough to do something else while she's out on.
This established my character as kind of a real a-hole.
What do you think?
And kind of
Just like
just
you.
like,
Yeah.
just like
How dare you!
No, but the thing
I'm repealing your co-producership.
One of the things I really appreciate you is as the way you've worked with Steve is that you've like taken a lot of like it's almost kind of like a self-reflective like look at your like kind of like almost like a joking look at yourself as like a reporter and something like that. You kind of like there's something very like very humble about that actually, that you can like take this stuff and just kind of like make fun of yourself in that way. So I always appreciate that about you as an actor.
It's funny because this show actually we wrote me as a character who's like as like a news person.
And then you became
but like that was before like I had a website called newstoshare.com. Like I became like this predicted my future like career path.
I can help you. We just have to work together.
We're in this together.
I
didn't know what the fuck I was singing.
Oh yeah, conveniently right after she says, "What are we gonna do?" I and my co-producer show up on the television screen to tell them exactly what they're gonna do. That was very convenient. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. When I was also like overly dramatic, like ridiculously melodramatic.
Yeah, everyone has. He burned down like half the lower city.
No.
That's when I was like, wait, that was a one-line joke I made in the last episode. What's going on? Are you guys turning him into a character?
Yep.
That was an understatement.
Your brother Pyroman's here to see you.
Oh, that was me, and I've altered my voice so it wouldn't sound like me. Also, by the way, that's our writer. That's our writer that he's about to kill by accident.
You want to fire?
And that's the former GM as of yesterday. He's no longer the GM.
He's our GM.
Good cue.
Yep. And he just like killed his little sister, who's our writer,
and all the people in the hospital.
This scene was so intense.
Not a bad guy.
Mostly because of the soundtrack.
I'm a good guy.
Yeah,
right?
the soundtrack.
I mean, I didn't mean to.
It's a really good way to raise the stakes. Like, 'cause, like we'll be for all you potentially new ATV viewers is one of the best actors actually at ATV, and so like he gives this just so much conviction. And it's like, yeah, he just gives it so much gravity. It's kind of in a way like that Jeff does, actually, in a really similar way. So I really like that a lot.
Oh, and here's the pumpkin shot again. Remember I said that pumpkin's in every episode?
You and the pumpkin are the official
thing,
leads of Superhero Adventure.
Like the show Psych, they always have the pineapple. We should always have a pumpkin.
Oh, that's interesting. Doesn't American Dream have like a plant that's always in it?
Not always.
It's not always in it.
Well, we're going to make it that the pumpkin's in every episode.
If we didn't know that he was a villain then, we certainly do now.
Fine. They want a villain. They got one.
So
that was a classic line.
It was.
And he just burns American University
and laughs.
Oh, this shot. Justin turned that into his cover photo, and I think is it still that?
No, it's no longer. But it just. I like that moment.
Oh my gosh,
I really like that moment.
That was just like a blatant Dark Knight reference.
No, but it was just like, what the fuck is going on? I like these moments a lot.
Oh, and that was the Tolstoy head that was missing.
Oh, when I like applied, there was that huge thing going all over all the Facebook stuff.
We talked to Pyroman's 5th grade health teacher. You won't miss it.
You won't miss it. Not you won't want to miss it, but literally you won't miss it.
I just think it's a really funny joke. Like it's because you kind of really bringing in the whole sensationalism of your characters, and then it's like his 5th grade teacher. Who the fuck cares about his 5th grade teacher?
But I totally would do that. Like, as a news person, if there was actually a Pyroman, I'd find everyone even remotely related.
That's why you're born to play Steve.
Yep.
Please.
No, Steve was born to be played by me.
Someone's got an ego issue.
It's not an issue.
You're just not realizing this.
It's not even an issue. It's just the truth.
I thought you were going to say it's a way of life.
I mean, being Ford is a way of life.
You're right. Because
it's all about paddling your own canoe.
I need you to be the one to stop it. It's the only way to get your name out there and
stealing
your image.
I can't fight Pyroman.
Oh, this was like when she's all like unconfident, right? Like, oh, I don't want to like fight this like man who's capable of using fire to burn you, and she's just like, you've got to do it. Like, there's coercion involved in this. Like, this was actually like very inappropriate. She's just forcing this girl to like fight like a man who's twice as large in her and has fire. Like the odds of her winning that are just very remote.
Apart from the sudden tone change, this was actually like not to have a brief critical moment. Actually, one of my issues with the episode was just because like I never felt this was in character for Megan to do. Like I know she's a very passionate person; she'd want to do anything, but this felt like it was outside of the range of anything in her character's mind.
It makes sense.
Yeah,
she was
no,
really
I think that she just got so passionate.
She has no money. She's really desperate. She'll end up her road.
And then,
desperate kinds.
But then Willoughby, like this scene was so awesome. So this was really cool to film, right? And we filmed it all based on the premise of the fire stuff. So there was a lot of kind of my own action cinematography, but it was even more dependent on JC's ability to then edit this stuff in.
And one of the things that's really important about like when you film effects and acting is that like something that's very underappreciated is the way actors react to effects, and I think they do a really good job with the effects. Like you just get the sense that like they're not like Willoughby's so used to the fire, they just gives just a glance and just goes into his moment, and the same with her with it. So I think that's really a sign of a good actor when they can really work with like effects, even if they're not the best ones, and really just give really convincing. Like her, she actually looks like she's on fire, like acting wise, and she's like doing such a good job.
Yeah, no, it was good. And then for some reason, Chris Pile's costume turned blue.
We know the reason why. The story was I accidentally took the costume home with me after the first semester, and 3 days before the shoot, Ford asked me while I was in Prague to send over the costume, and I actually called my parents to do like a quick shipping, but Ford's like, no, that's not quick enough. We're just gonna make it blue. No big deal.
That was all we had. But so then we turned it back red because it actually did look.
And that's when Power Man was the Wicked Witch of the West.
Yeah, that like somehow like he's literally never had water on him in his life. Like that was the first.
So how the fuck is he supposed to take a shower?
He can just sanitize himself with fire.
With fire, yeah, he can just burn it all off. And for the record, this is the music from the trailer to the second Sherlock Holmes film.
That's not copyright infringement. That's why it's so good, is because it was actually professional level.
But also, like,
it's actually on the public domain, though.
But
it was from a public domain site, and I found out because Geep told me, "Oh yeah, that's really cool that you used the Sherlock Holmes music." I was like, "What?"
Yeah, but yeah, just to give another like a kind of a pat on the shoulder to Ford for the scene is I always loved like the location of it. I think it's such a cool location, and you're filming it in daylight. You're filming it in the woods. It's the perfect place for Pyro Man because everything's like dry, so you can burn everything. And the sky is perfect. You got good sky. That is such a rare thing for student filmmakers to get good sky. It's so difficult. And so, like,
filmmaker, you can't control the weather.
Yeah, I know you can't control the weather, but to get good sky in your film is so rare. And so the fact that you could, like, it's actually.
This was a good moment that Elise just like lies.
I don't know. It just made sense. If there's a fire, put it out.
Well, there you have it, folks.
It was kind of to set up like another plot, but we never really like. I don't know why we just never. Actually, we know I know the reason why we never explored it because she didn't come back for the third episode.
Oh, I thought this was good because this final scene, just like it had that little moment of humor, but then I ended it totally seriously.
You know what? It doesn't matter. We're going to reopen Superheroes Register. Just you and me. And Green Girl's going to be our first client. Did you see the stage show? She was brilliant, wasn't she?
He just leaves his costume out. Could you imagine if like Batman did that? Right, like some guest comes to Batman's house. And
that's what we did. That's what we did. Spoiler alert! A few episodes down the road.
She told you, didn't she?
Oh yeah, you're right. Our characters are so dumb. They're like, oh, I've got these like secret identities, but I just like leave it like lying around my house.
Everyone in this town is essentially a superhero.
Well, the thing that I think I like actually about that though is that the character that like. I like the fact that they're actually not given confidence because they don't always expect to be they don't always expect someone that's a non-superhero, that's someone that doesn't know their identity to walk in and just look around. So I think it kind of actually makes sense that they would just clumsy just lie their shit all around. Really, I actually think it works in a realistic way.
The emotional moment is coming. This was such an intense ending.
First, but now I don't know. I just don't want your help.
But
I'm gonna do this alone.
And that's where we set up the whole Chris Pyle arc,
it's really
actually.
Interesting because he doesn't stay alone for very much longer.
That's true, actually. I feel like Chris Pyle's a little dependent
I think he struggles to be by himself.
Like, well, like
Chris or David.
Well, the thing was, I knew that was something that, due to just the nature of what we did as a show, that wasn't going to last forever. So like the way I worked that in the third episode is we addressed that issue his character has, and we like made it like an issue that the characters had to resolve and stuff like that. But because I knew that was going to be something that he was going to work with someone, we just had to overcome that in a way that was very realistic to the character. And yeah, so that is episode 2, and now afterwards, this is where Frankie gets involved in the show.
So clearly, it's a lot better because I'm involved.
Yep.
Look at this previously on. It's already better.
This was a really fun scene to edit because
oh, this wasn't the previously on. This was the we made the Justin. I think Justin actually edited this portion.
Yeah,
this was a compilation of Steve and Christine show stuff.
And kind of just sets up the whole episode because it
introduces Christine for the first time.
Yeah.
Yay!
That was Frankie's first appearance in Superheroes, but not her last.
I'll never leave.
Unfortunately.
That kind of repeats a joke about him just screwing up his ex-wife's names because he's a bit of an asshole.
How dare you,
I think he's
Justin?
progressing as a person.
She's a pretty good reporter.
By the masked man.
If I were CNN, I would hire Frankie.
I appreciate that.
I thought you were about to say if I was CNN, I would hire myself.
Well, I'd hire myself in a second, but after careful consideration, I'd hire Frankie.
A web series with it.
We should, and it should be about superheroes.
Just create a spin-off.
A libertarian spin-off.
Yeah,
I mean, this show sort of is a libertarian spin-off, so it will work.
Ain't that the truth?
I think that we're like the show represents like anarcho-libertarian like vigilante justice.
Yeah,
like,
I think it'll work well.
Like we have like one cop in it, and like
Celeste's arm.
Celeste's arm. That's the first appearance of Celeste.
It is true that last night he was brought in.
Look at Jeff back when he shaved
and had a haircut. Like, don't worry, Jeff, we love you.
He's just got this cute little baby face.
But you were still able to charge him, right?
Good question, Celeste.
We already had enough on him.
One of the things this is actually one of my favorite locations to film at AU in general. Actually, I just like this hallway.
It's always a pain in the butt when we do it.
It's a pain.
You just really like it because it was used in American Dream before us.
No, not just that. I just think visually, it's just a good balance of color. The lighting is always like really good, and it's just like visually, it's just a good location. Actually, I think like actually look wise.
I have work to do.
It looks like the only question now is
just who is that masked man?
Who is he?
It's Chris Pyle. Spoiler alert! It's Chris Pyle.
I'm done.
It's not David Wright, the character. It's literally just Chris Pyle.
Woohoo! Fedora girl.
What? She wasn't Fedora girl yet. Spoiler alert! Now we have to go back and re-record this.
God damn it!
The whole thing.
Oh, oops.
Not just that. We had to record the whole thing. Here was the appearance of James Greco.
Who actually was he worked on the show for he actually played one of the security guards in episode 2, and he was on the show from the very beginning. This semester he's actually in Russia right now, which is so awesome. I don't know.
Is that where he is?
Yeah, I don't know anyone who studies abroad in Russia, but that's so awesome. They go in there. It's such a rich country from like a cultural perspective, but
and historical perspective.
And that too. Just any perspective.
And an Edward Snowden perspective.
That too. But
Russia.
But we're happy for it. And
this was a good moment. She begins to like fetishize superheroes because he recommended it. And we like briefly fit in that like 69 news thing again, which we thought we had gotten rid of, but there was just that brief moment.
Whoops.
Just like the pies.
No, but I like this moment because it just the thing I like about TV shows is is you can connect history in ways that you don't really like expect.
Good thing she's like sketching a superhero at American University as defined by the sign right behind her. For a brief moment.
That's a brilliant superhero.
There's my fedora. As we all know, my name is Ford, and I often am known to wear a fedora, although it has basically been committed to Superheroes
Fischer.
Registered, so I haven't worn it in quite a while. And that was the day I got lice. I'm just kidding.
And fun fact, film majors, never film someone in a black costume against darkness. It is not a smart...
Is that something you should not do?
It is not a smart idea because they blend in with the background.
And what major are you, Justin? Yeah. Are you a film major?
Yeah. Laying on the wall is actually really...
Justin's like...
He pleads the fifth.
This was pretty cool. Except that actually there was a continuity error. She used the wrong arm. on the photo thing. But that's cool. Oh, that was pretty. I like that.
I like that. I didn't like.
This moment was kind of weird because he either looks like he's not hitting him or he's just destroying him.
But that was a shot I was really happy with, just because it was just a really long shot and it conveyed significant distance from the event.
Right, and then there was a good jump cut because when he comes back, Chris gets to her way too fast, but it looks like he's just walking.
Hey, wait! You're the masked man, aren't you?
No, he's not.
No, I'm not the masked man. I'm just a man wearing a mask. You're absolutely wrong.
Also, she has a total Blues Brothers moment because it's dark and she's wearing sunglasses.
Yeah.
Or Jack Nicholson.
No.
Maybe she's high and she's trying to cover it up.
Yeah.
Yes, that's exactly what
she doesn't want people to see her bloodshot nose. I don't know why the
This is
mugger
in Colorado.
Yeah, you're right. That's funny.
Your ratings are.
Oh yeah, I forgot that we had Peter play the showrunner in this episode. Note also that Geet's in the background when it's pointed at Peter, and at one point you see him rubbing his hair.
Yeah. Fun fact: Geet was the person that was trolled in the first episode when we had his resume out as the murderer.
Fun fact: Celeste was like, I wasn't acting this episode because I was super stressed out that day, so I was just actually annoyed with life.
Oh.
Oh, you?
Yeah.
I'm sorry to hear that.
God, look at that face. You look stressed.
Well, there has to be something out there.
This was this would be a perfect moment for it to be in 3D because of the perspective that it gets on him. Not right now, but when it's a close up on Peter, I'd love to see those hands just coming out at you. Look at Geet touching his hair, all playing with it, taking the show. Yeah,
it makes it look more like an active studio.
You know what?
It is an active studio.
Do whatever you have.
Wait, is that Lexi?
Wait, watch his hand. Watch his hand right now. 3D. That would be the moment. I think we should render this whole thing in 3D, just like George Lucas did on Phantom Menace.
We shouldn't make something up.
And then we can re-release it to theaters.
Of journalistic integrity, right?
Yeah.
Falsifying a news story? Yeah.
I always like this music. It had such a newsy feel, but it's sinister news. We're gonna really fuck with your audience.
Damn it, Justin! Watch your fucking language.
What did happen to Janet Cook?
She won a Pulitzer.
I still don't know who Janet Cook is.
I didn't know who she was either.
Is she a real person?
She is a real person. I asked Brittany about this when she was writing it because I want her to do a reference that I knew about.
I have work to do.
This was pretty funny. I hope that someday that's not taken out of context, in my actual career, and used as a justification to defamate me.
I'll come out of the woodworks and be like, "It was acting." I'll support you. Condone it.
This was a shot I got really lucky with because I was also on camera and boom, and I didn't want to do a handheld of it because my whole crew and cast was right there in that shot. So I was like, I just need to do an elaborate one shot that just works, and they did a good job at it. And then after this, Jeff and Jake Jeff's on camera and Jake's on boom actually.
Yeah.
But why not?
Because I'm a hero, not a celebrity.
Who says that? Because I'm a hero. Screw you. You're supposed to be modest. You can say I'm a superhero because that's a job.
George Clooney Batman.
The George Clooney Batman. Don't even talk about the George Clooney Batman.
Or Sean Connery James Bond.
This show is objectively better than the George Clooney Batman.
if it's not, then I have failed as a showrunner.
That stupid hockey scene and all those puns. Ice to meet you.
Puns are the best. Don't you dare.
Except we did have that moment where Willoughby says, "You're fired."
I actually really did not like that moment because I was like, you have such a good serious character, and why the fuck is he making these puns? Sorry for the cursing, by the way, guys.
Damn it, Justin. Next he's gonna start whipping out racial epithets.
I don't do that. I don't go that far.
Have you noticed that we don't have any minorities in our show? It's because of Justin.
It's because of ATV in general. We won't go in.
Stop.
Cut away, by the way.
Stop right now.
We might have to censor that part.
We're not going to censor anything. The point of this is that it's uncensored. We'll put an age restriction on YouTube where you have to log in to read it because we made vaguely
they watch
inappropriate
Let's Plays. Don't even. Let's Plays are filled with filth.
Filth. Is that what we are to you, Frankie? Filth.
That was
a funny moment where Chris... Well, he did. It was an awful hug, but he did a good job of giving an awful hug.
Yeah, that was what it was meant to be.
I love how you can see the strings on the mask. Makes it more real.
Yeah.
I would note that he's frequently complained about having to wear that same mask for 2 years, and it's like just not a good mask. This was a pretty good scene. This like exercise compilation. Yeah, it was pretty funny.
Thank you. I filmed it.
I understand that. Justin does good things sometimes.
Sometimes.
Okay. Once every 3 months.
Yeah. No, but no. This scene actually came out pretty well.
Yeah, I would agree.
You know, I think it also was very driven by the music.
You chose good music.
It was, I mean, you know, what filmmaking should be. It was well written, and then it was shot well.
It has all of the primary things: writing, filming, and editing. And they all did well, right? And this is an example of all those things. Chris Pyle, can you imagine him in like the martial arts? Like, I feel like he those hands. He's just got the strength.
The best thing about this is continuity errors with nail polish. I'm guilty of this
nail
too.
polish?
Nail polish.
Really? Did her nail polish?
Yeah, her nail polish will change.
And you can tell the difference between Frankie and her 2 male co-producers, who would never have noticed that.
This is when things go to a different.
That's sexist.
Oh, this is pretty funny. The same mugger comes and takes her bag, and Chris is just like, "Oh."
I was really stressed filming this scene. Board remembers that
I'll explain. This is behind public safety. Justin's all scared because he's scared to use the prop knife. He's like, dude, I don't know how to open it. I'm just like terrified, and like he couldn't figure out how to open it. And I give it to Jake, the mugger, and Jake opens it. I'm like, oh, this is how you do it. And Jake's like, oh, like this, and it works fine. And Justin's like, well, okay. And he's like, can you stay there while that's happening? So you can
I was just really scared just because
Jake was good. I missed
Jake. Jake just he's such a he's one of the most like dedicated kids I met and stuff like that. Like,
that'll be great.
And now he's at USC.
All the way back to the station.
Fun fact: we had to film this at a different location because we couldn't film in public safety. So that's why I'm filming like for her a very low angle, and then for him trying to hide behind.
And I remember recommending to Justin that he could have just done the whole thing from the mugger's perspective, in which case it wouldn't actually make a difference to because you would just see them in the sky.
Being overrun with criminals. The
I think it turned out well.
It ended up working really nicely, yeah.
I don't think we have to worry about that again.
Yep. Well, congratulations. You got your first.
I don't know how. Like, are they authorized to make arrests like this? Like, would that hold up in court? Like, if the same guy was making like 20 citizens arrests a week?
I think so.
That's something that we really.
Not? Why wouldn't it?
That's something that after this episode and the coming episodes, like we start to address actually.
Which again addresses the anarchism or the libertarianism of the show, which is that the majority of the justice.
Anarchy.
It's more like anarcho citizen justice, but the fact that like superheroes are like the primary like institute of justice in this world, which is interesting because in this we talk about muggers in this episode, but like in future episodes it gets darker, right? It goes to actual death and murder type stuff, but superheroes are still in part responsible for the justice resulting in it.
Fun fact also, this is the first scene I filmed. We filmed with Frankie. In September. Yeah, actually, it was also the first.
Like so long ago.
Yeah, it
was a while ago.
It was also the first scene we filmed actually, like for this episode. So like,
look at that sass. I have a plan, and she says it's not gonna work. How dare you?
Fun fact, Frankie, do you remember what your main thing was with the scene when you were filming it?
That I smiled?
That you kept smiling, and we had to tell. And I actually.
Sorry, I'm a happy person.
And I actually told you, and probably one of the funnier things I've ever said. All right, you get one smile. You get a smile once, so make good use of it. But she did. But like this is where
smiling. Ready?
Oh, this was a good line. Wait.
Smile.
Well, I guess you'll have to wear a mask.
Reaction.
Good moment, but actually though, this is actually when I realized that working with you was gonna be really awesome. Actually, because because the thing was, even though you had the issues with the smile and you were like so dedicated, you were so like you were determined to get it right. You had such great patience. I was just like, I'm really gonna have a great time working with this person, even though I didn't know. I love that a lot. I think that's a really great moment. Like. By the way, I hate filming in my apartment because of moments like this, because I don't have shit on my walls.
Yep.
No.
Well, Chris Pyle wouldn't either. Or not Chris Pyle specifically, but his character, I feel like, would have bare walls.
He's dedicated to justice.
Oh, yeah. But he has two like, ferns next to his television.
Behind two ferns!
Yeah.
Superheroes registered behind two ferns.
I understand. It's funny because it's Zach Galifianakis.
Ooh, bank robbery. Turn it up. Nah. You know, you'd be a lot.
Yeah, I don't give a shit. I'm a superhero. I don't
care. I like
this
line.
I am not grumpy.
He says, "I'm not grumpy" in the most grumpy voice possible. I thought that was pretty funny. That was good. That was good.
She used to be really grumpy when she got up in the morning, so she had grumpy pants, and my mom thought it was hilarious.
Oh yeah, there's you, like, because it's totally not obviously you.
Wait for it, wait for it, wait for it, the clock falls. It's so fucking great. I love that moment so much. It was so funny when we filmed it.
Of course not, Steve.
Also, continuity error. My bangs are really
long
now compared to them.
I love that like when he says because that was actually an improv line. Like the divorce, he says, "God, my stupid name." I burst out laughing right after I filmed that shot.
Can you imagine if someone literally was just stabbed in the stomach and he's like, "I've got to like go like get this random person who I saw in the news." Like this. You know what this is a show about? Chicago, where like the cops don't work. And and this is what it's boiled down to, where like a stabbed citizen wearing like a cape is like literally
and a mask.
What stands between like an armed bank robber and like further death.
Even though ironically enough, the armed bank robber actually isn't armed, and the whole thing was like completely fake, and it was just like. She actually slapped forward with that.
Yeah, that was funny because I really didn't care, but like it took us like 5 tries to get her to actually like slap me.
I didn't know you then.
That shot and the shot before that was filmed over 5 separate days.
Let's clarify really quick. I know it's divorcee. These two thought it was divorcee.
There's like a lot of divorce jokes actually in this.
One of my favorite shots of the film actually.
Yeah, and apparently one of them wants to kill me now.
Just walking behind shoulder.
It is why I'm here. See, I got a call from the
He pronounces something weird in this. Let's listen.
Some sort, and I should talk to you about it. Now I thought that was a mite suspicious myself, but then I saw your broadcast.
What?
So that
I'm quite suspicious myself, but it was interesting because we kept it because we were figuring like his character would say it like that, but we didn't know why. Like it's not an there's no accent that pronounces
why
that like that.
Honestly,
it's like a mixture between Boston and Southern.
This guy. The Masked Man. To what do I owe this pleasure?
You seem so pleasured by that. This pleasure.
Wow, why would she say that to me? Like, she's dead. Could you imagine if you've never met someone and the first thing they say is, like, you divorce a lot of people. Like, what an awful thing to say. So that's like the equivalent of...
I don't have much information.
I think my character would.
Yeah,
but I tried to scoff it off, or my character tried to just like scoff.
Yeah, you're a newsman. You know how to pick.
But her character is just like kind of a like mean towards me. I don't know. It kind of hurt my character's feelings. I think on the inside.
Are you?
I think you just fucking hit on her. Like so, it's like you both are like.
That was funny.
You both are really mean people in that sense.
Did you hear that line? Chris Pyle going, "Don't forget to take notes."
It was kind of his misogynist moment as a character, actually, which kind of is disappointing.
She'll take notes if she needs to,
this
Chris.
part. I think this is a good, like this next.
This was a good moment, yeah.
Yeah,
except that there was a sunglasses continuity because like her sunglasses got this like stupid bow on it, like as she left.
Another shot. I like walking behind people and moving the shot with them actually to connect the scenes. I actually like that a lot.
Yeah.
You didn't steal all that much. If you turn yourself in, nothing bad's gonna happen.
I don't know what you're talking about.
That's totally not true. If she like robbed a bank with a gun, it like doesn't matter that she didn't take very much. Like that's like a big deal.
With the economy, that's such a great excuse.
The economy, yeah.
It was his idea.
You ratted me out. How dare you? You're not my producer.
I don't have any stake in this.
That was a hard shot to film, actually. That was very complicated.
Oh yeah, this was the coolest chase. Wait, there's a good shot coming off. The best. This one. I liked that shot.
I do too.
Oh, I also liked all the ones that show
the way I'm running, I'm like,
Yeah, you're a good like.
It's actually one of my favorite shots, just because like I don't know.
There was like a class in MGC going on. Shout out to Adam Garrett, who was in the background for like the shot before this one.
Like the sound of that in that staircase is really good.
Well, fun fact, I forgot to film sound for the day for the.
Oh yeah, no. You're misrepresenting it if you call that a fun fact. An unfortunate fact is that you didn't record sound for this or color balance it. But you told me before, like you knew that you were doing it wrong. Like the first thing you told me about this footage was Ford. I forgot to.
Shots in this chase.
No. Oh no. That was the thing. They were such good shots.
It took us like 7 tries to get that, though. I would just like to clarify.
The really interesting thing was when I film about Ford, I go crazy with my shot list usually. Like and so like Frankie and Danielle were doing all these shots like repeat like 5 times each, and then when I did it with Ford's like we do one shot, we move on.
Yeah, do it properly, do it right. And that was the other funny thing. If we're both being chased away from this, like, would we really go back to the same place? Like, if you were getting chased by the cops, would you really go back to where it started?
I would.
And boom! The gunshot.
Such a great moment.
Courtesies of yours truly, the editor.
I like everyone's faces.
And one of the things I love about this moment is just like it's such an anticlimactic end to a very climatic scene, but it's so like realistic. It's like you fired the gun, they're done.
Yep. Like, I also like the fact that like he keeps his gun just like in a pocket. Like he doesn't have he can't afford a holster. Like it goes in his jeans pocket.
Yeah. Fun fact: when we were filming this scene, we were joking about because how much he fucks up the Miranda rights, but then we actually, luckily, without intending it, actually used this major plot point actually as the springboard for how Steve and Christine are no longer in jail in episode 3.5. It actually worked. Really, we didn't have to even try in order to make it work. Actually,
yeah,
which is really cool.
How's the hole? I should probably see a doctor.
That was the day Chris Pyle got syphilis.
That's just such an awkward theory.
You open up next season with Chris Pyle finally died of his stab wound because of the syphilis. So the other season, wow, like that's like a really like you just open up with his funeral and say he died of his stab wound like shortly afterwards.
Yeah,
like that'd be a sad way to like continue the drama. Actually, though, actually have him like die of like something like that.
I think that we should applaud Chris because he wore that in the middle of.
There are so many places. He gets embarrassed by that a lot, actually, and so like I like applaud him for like
it's the middle of the day wearing that. I don't know
you know what's funny is that it's just big enough to be embarrassing, but just little enough that you can still tell who he is. It's like which like maximizes potential embarrassment of like wearing it if like you're the kind of person who'd be embarrassed by it. Oh, this was a good moment because he references all of the other superheroes.
And yeah. As I said, one of my favorite things is just to connect history.
She got very excited about that fanboy realization.
Yeah. I don't know what, like, her sunglasses, like, went down, but she never pushed them back up.
The reason why I did that was because I was trying to get a little more expression out of her eyes because I didn't think she was expressed enough physically.
To be honest, I thought there was going to be some sort of romantic thing between the two of them. There's a lot of moments that would hint to that.
I think that the next episode should start with a romantic embrace.
Don't even tell them. Let's just see what happens.
We'll just write it and hand it to them, and it'll be like it opens on them making out, like hardcore.
And they're
like all right, like Chris Pyle uses his tongue and makes a noise,
and they're like in costume too.
Softcore porn at that point.
And
Chris Pyle is wearing nothing but his mask.
No, but actually, though, it'd be really funny if you had to be hooking up in costume, though, because it'd be like it'd be like the ATV equivalent of Batman and Catwoman hooking up, essentially. But I say ATV equivalent because at ATV we don't have a budget for costumes. We actually do have a budget, but we have to spend it on practical things.
Like, you can only wear a mask.
Yeah.
Oh, this was a pretty good little montage at the end. I like our montages. We have good like ending montages.
Thank you. We do both. I film it, usually edit.
I would agree.
Yeah, this is pretty good. Oh, she gets on this show is so nostalgic. Like it really suffers from like having nostalgia like every episode for itself. It's a little bit self-pitying, but I think that it works. I really do think that like her character's developed enough that like it's worth her being sad about not doing it anymore. Enough that she stays. That looks like though she's like,
well then,
like they're about to have a romantic embrace.
I'm telling you.
Yeah,
it does.
Do you see?
And
by the way, like kissy noises in the credits.
By the way, we wanted that shot on the door to close, to cut to black once the door actually hit it. But Chris Pyle looked at the camera.
Fancy. Why is there a comma there?
Where?
There was a comma.
No, that was an appropriate comma because there were 3. It said Justin Horowitz, comma, Ford Fischer, and
I don't like when people don't put like the Oxford comma in. It bugs me.
Okay, if you're gonna be disrespecting the Oxford comma, then you can get out.
You don't have to be the producer next year anyway. We can just ask someone else.
Yeah.
Good luck.
We'll just ask Celeste. That's fine.
Yeah.
Celeste, hey, you want to come back
in
to
Santa Monica?
Yep. All right, and here begins episode 3.5.
Our shortest episode, our webisode that we made.
This was pretty interesting. I thought it was pretty good for like a webisode that we just like pumped out.
It went really fast too.
We did a good job.
You guys did a really good job. I didn't help much with this one. I feel bad about that.
No, it's all good.
I'm still a little upset. Whoa!
Wow!
For the record, for the internet, Frankie just pointed one finger at me, and it was the middle one, and the rest of them weren't pointed up, which gesticulates profanity with a hand.
Listen a moment.
Welcome back to the show, everyone.
Recently, Steve and I were arrested by Captain Hopper on charges of armed robbery, aiding, and abetting.
But he didn't read us our Miranda rights.
So we were set free.
Yeah!
I love that moment because
Such
literally
a High School Musical moment.
I love that moment so much because literally right off the bat we resolve like a plot issue. Like
I really like the sound work that was done here. It's good.
I try to make it sound very
I think Justin actually edited that like single moment. I don't remember why, but I feel like he did that. The only moment I
liked in this whole series.
Yeah, that's right. No, but I actually think that like I edited. Oh yeah, I got that like picture of Megan from Facebook.
That ring doesn't deserve to be in the hands of some petty thief.
There's like Celeste on screen for the first time.
Like
no, her arm was on screen before.
Who will find the ring first?
It was interesting because we referenced Octogirl in the first episode, and it took the 3.5 episode to get her in.
Yeah.
There's a lot of superheroes in this town.
It's true, and only one cop, and a district attorney later. But
this is also actually the first. This is the first episode that really utilized Jeff as like an actor. Like I mean, like we hadn't teased it, like we had him in small roles in the other 2, but this was like the first one where Jeff was like not only an active person in the plot, but he was the lead, and so I was really happy about that because Jeff is like, for the record, a really damn good actor.
His character I think developed really naturally. It like came in.
Yeah.
Because like he still got that very intense devotion and kind of that aggravated like relationship with superheroes, but he's also like you understand where he's coming from.
Why is she called Octogirl?
Because she has an octagon on her hat.
We never really.
But I don't think that like physically there's anything about her that's like an octagon. Like I'm pretty sure that's
I
just
heard
like.
that initially. I don't know if this is true. This is what Celeste told me, that initially she didn't have her thumbs, and that's why she was like
that was your idea. I hated that. I shot it down. I kept shooting it down. I was like, this is not going to be our part of our show. One of my favorite shots, actually, just because it.
Yeah.
And then this scene I actually really like because this is a scene where he gets into a monologue where you really understand who he is as a character, and Jeff just plays it up so well because he finds the right balance between that whole caricature and then kind of like this really like this genuine devotion.
I also appreciate that like she supposedly broke into the place, but like she didn't even just break in through the front door. Like she came from Justin's room.
He stole it from the police station, and he did steal my laser ring.
You stole this from his residence.
From his residence. No, like house. From his house.
Right now.
Love this moment.
If I broke the law just to stop one criminal, what does that make me?
A cop.
I'm the only kid.
That's terrible!
If the people can't trust me, who can they trust?
I think that's the line that sums up his character.
I'd tweet that.
If the people can't trust me, who can they trust? It just sums up like who he is as a character.
Which is, and it's interesting because that's why the superheroes do better, because they have their own brand of justice that is objectively more effective.
without the law. Like
also, fun fact: in this moment where he comes up from the fingerprint, that's actually the same moment as before in reverse.
You never told me that, actually.
I don't think I ever told Justin that. And the fact that he never noticed indicates that it was fine. But we never got a picture of him coming up, and it was kind of necessary. And we actually used that same image in a montage in episode 5, and it still works.
For the fugitive known as the Professor?
Fun fact, we had to use a different police station because the other one was being like it was like there was too much shit going on.
It's not a different police station. It's just a different section of the police station.
Why did the professor leave his door? Or no, it wasn't the professor. I mean,
it was her. She broke it.
Frankie broke it, but she left the door open. I feel like I would close the door. Celeste, sorry.
That's okay.
This is a really good shot, actually.
That was a good moment.
Calm down, Jack. It's just me.
Don't
I found the ring.
let the big line be said without any commentary first.
Aren't you breaking and entering?
I assume you know what this is.
Those are hard to come by these days.
There's me.
Oh, shit.
There's Justin bringing in the profanity.
Professor, you are under arrest for the stealing of Octagirl's laser ring. And Octagirl, you are under arrest for stealing it back.
I love that line so much. I think it's so
courtesy of Ford Fischer. Ford Fischer came up with that line. That's confirmed.
But actually, like Ford, like doesn't come up with a lot of specific lines. But that was, I think, one of the funniest lines. It's just like it captures the absurdity of the moment so well. Like,
I would also note that particular shot was taken about 20 times, and that's not an exaggeration. It was actually like about 19 or 20 times because Justin laughed every single time.
I just like, you know.
And we have that compilation on Facebook, right? So that's only available to ATV people. We didn't want the whole world to see that Justin laughs every single time.
If I ever win like a major award, you can just put it up and just say, from humble beginnings.
I mean, if you win a major award, you'll probably laugh as you're getting it. Thank you so much for this Academy Award.
Maybe it could be a Razzie for like laughing. I want a Razzie. I can honestly say that I would be happy.
See, there's the pumpkin. There's the pumpkin.
I'm not saying
in episode 4 of the previously on, there was a pumpkin.
I'm just saying that I would be honored to receive a Razzie.
I would as well. The other thing about Razzies is that they go to people who are solid actors who did something bad temporarily.
Unless you're Kristen Stewart.
Oh, did Kristen Stewart get one? Oh. Yeah. I don't even think she deserves one. Like, she's not good enough.
Well, not bad enough.
No, but hear me out on that. It's for people who do bad roles, but who are respected actors, such as like Al Pacino got one for that one with Adam Sandler, and
right, Andy Samberg has gotten a couple Razzies.
And what's his name? Marlon Brando got a Razzie for Island of Dr. Moreau, but obviously he's a fantastic actor, right? He just did one craptastic film.
Yeah.
See, it's a compliment.
How they actually accepted her a role, accepted it for a role in Calvin. She actually came up on the stage to accept it.
I would do that.
And this is when episode 4 begins, semester 2, where we produced 2 episodes together. 1 week later, because our show actually happens in a very short time of years, I think our whole show takes place within 2 months. Actually, that's my guess.
That's your guess? You don't know?
No, actually, that's about accurate. It all takes place over about 2 months.
Unfortunately, however, Judge O'Connor called the arrest a mistrial.
We've never seen Judge O'Connor, but I always imagine Emily O'Connor in my head.
I know.
She's the only O'Connor I know.
Yeah, like
I imagine it being like a female too.
Yeah, like I think that's it. I think that'd be a cool character to introduce next season if you want to continue like a lot of the themes that we
picture being like that one Supreme Court justice who.
Wow, what a libertarian thing to say! Did you hear what I just said? When will District Attorney Turner and Captain Hopper's reign of tyranny end?
You said like the exact same thing when we filmed this.
Yeah. Tsunami.
You need to introduce Tsunami too.
Welcome to the show, Alpha. You've been quite vocal about
that. Could be our next episode.
There was no reason
to have Tsunami. Spoilers.
She didn't commit any crime, and even if she did break the law,
it was for a just cause. See, we're establishing the theme of the episode early on.
Also, let's give a shout out to PT for managing to articulate really well, despite the fact that the mask was like holding his mouth together.
Nobody looked at me until I put on the mask.
That's what he says.
No one cared
But now it's complicated. Who is the masked man? He's also a masked man.
Oh shit!
The difference between a masked man and the masked man, I would cite V for Vendetta. where at the beginning he describes, well, who is but a function of what, and what I am is a man wearing a mask. And she says, well, I can see that. And then he says, I'm simply pointing out the paradox of asking a masked man who he is.
I was just making a joke.
How dare you? There's no room for jokes in Superheroes Registered episodes 4 or 5.
Our commentary has gotten less and less significant to the show as it's gotten later.
This is how it typically goes in any kind of a commentary. I did sports commentaries for a long time, and we would just like review movies while filming a baseball game. Like in my local town, like we would get paid and we'd just like talk about random shit that had nothing to do with the game we were filming at that exact moment.
If you all notice, if you notice Jeff's hair actually at this point, he actually didn't like shave before our very first scene because I think he remembered that he was filming like his first scene the night before, so he had to keep it consistent. And so Jeff, even though he's a cop, is keeping like his hair really long and his beard.
That Alpha just walks off. He's just gone. Bye.
Bye.
Just go away.
The first person to provide photo evidence of the masked man's real identity will receive over $1,000 in cash and prizes.
See, we're not really helping the situation here. We're elevating like the
I feel like we do. Yeah, we do make everything worse.
No. That's like the point. You guys are the media. You're not supposed to solve everything.
It's just like me in real life.
Nobody would ever know. Yeah. Like we're causing these problems.
Mass
hysteria.
Pyroman times 100,000.
Sort of comparing apples and oranges here, Jack.
I'm not sure why he had to observe that. Like it was a fairly valid comparison.
Jack, you've been looking for months.
Yeah, but he's messed up now. Now he's got a picture.
You've had that picture for months.
But now we know what to do with it.
We just a good plot concern there.
The first person to provide photo evidence of the masked man's real identity will receive over $1,000.
Hiding the Apple logo. Oh yeah. I thought that was funny.
They're never gonna find us.
We need to be more careful.
With costumes like these,
they'll
never figure out who we are.
That's just not true. Like those costumes are not
just blatantly wrong.
Like that's Chris Pyle. Like that's just objectively Chris Pyle wearing like a piece of cloth on his face with holes in it. Now that's a valid costume. Like you might not recognize him.
But his hair.
His hair is very distinct.
I think that the best disguise of the show is Justin's.
Mine, when I'm the deadly.
He wears a suit, but his face is completely revealed. He's
this is a great part, guys. This is a great part. We should watch.
This is.
I love it.
Yeah.
They call this place comfortable.
Justin finds jail very comfortable.
In here with you. Don't think I don't know that you can't run your entire operation in here.
This is actually music initially used in the trailer that me and Frankie found that we loved. And
yeah, it was pretty intense.
It worked out really nicely.
This was an emotional moment coming up.
This part's great.
Dying in your arms. You told me I would meet true justice soon enough. It was cute, really.
I will bury you.
No.
I had a hard time laughing during that moment. Not because I didn't think it was, not because I thought it was absurd, but because it was so good. I didn't know how to normally react as an actor.
By having a hard time not laughing, I want to clarify that doesn't mean that he didn't laugh. That means he laughed like most of the times until we got one that he didn't.
It turned out nicely though.
And look how.
And again, she just like keep.
Everybody just leaves their costumes out.
This is a good. This show has a lot of important lessons about life, and one of them here is don't just let a cop walk into your house, particularly if
it didn't even.
Unless they're like your husband, because my sisters.
All right, but then lesson 2 is don't marry a cop.
What's this all about, officer?
Just following up.
You don't want them to have cop babies.
What does that mean?
I don't know.
But this is actually a good scene for them acting.
I would like to comment that it is 2:05 a.m.
And that is the reason for these shenanigan commentaries.
I was working on a marketing paper and watching Noah, yeah.
Exhibit A.
That's ridiculous.
Look at the angle of this shot. You're holding the camera.
Selfie.
I feel like people should have observed that by then. Like, he's had that picture for 2 months, and it never occurred to him.
That was a joke that I made with Turner, because Turner's like, come on, man, you literally had the easiest way to do your job for 2 months, and you haven't done anything.
Can you imagine if Spider-Man took selfies? Like, because an integral part of Spider-Man is that he shoots himself, or takes photos of himself. But like, he doesn't just like take a selfie and then hand it.
No,
to
he
them.
like sets it up.
Right, he sets it up.
I love this scene.
But then it gets crushed by a lizard.
And her name is Patricia Parker. Like, she's clearly a Spider-Man. Like, she herself is a Spider-Man reference.
Yeah, we knew that right from the get-go.
Did you not realize that?
I'm kidding. I've read all of Spider-Man.
You're not officers.
One lonely.
Speaking of which, Amazing Spider-Man 2 comes out today, and it has a worse rating than Spider-Man 3, which
it has a worse rating.
Yeah,
I liked the first
it lowers my expectations dramatically. But then right after this is actually one I think the best scenes we. Right after this is one of the best scenes we've done for the show. Actually, like it's so like it's just hectic as hell and stuff like that. Like it's
good
just,
censorship. I heard it on the tip of your tongue. The F word.
It's literally just cutting everywhere. Like all these different cuts.
This was good.
And it's a really funny scene. Everything was good except the fact that we didn't have a viewfinder, like actually viewfinder for the camera.
No, I think he was looking through the.
He was convincing acting wise. It was just like
Like we finally hired a cameraman for our news show.
Thanks to my world-class.
By the way, that shot is in reverse, and you can tell because my hair is faced the wrong way.
Why is it in reverse?
Because otherwise I was faced in an opposite way, and it was a larger continuity error. But it was less noticeable to have my hair faced that way than to have my entire body faced the wrong way. But you see that my hair just switched. You can look if you rewind that, you can see it's combed the wrong way in the beginning.
I don't even know how to do that. So like,
what, to just flop a Final Cut?
Ford will teach you next year when you're a producer.
No, I'm the editor. But I can still teach you if you want.
Oh yeah?
It's on Final Cut. Filters.
Okay.
Perspective. Flop.
Look how
horizontal.
Look how diverse of a color scheme the scene is. Everyone is wearing black. There's dark colors and there's white. It's literally the least diverse scene color-wise. But that's me just being a film nerd right there.
Lack of diversity, just like American University.
No, but actually though, as
a fair amount of
we pride ourselves on our diversity.
But actually, as a scene though,
I would say we're fairly diverse.
Yeah, but actually, that was a scene directing wise. It was actually a scene where they all did a really good job. Like I made them run through this a lot of times, but they like just pulled it off really well. I was able to get every shot
pretty well
that I
edited,
wanted.
if I say so myself.
That too, like, but actually though, like I got every shot. It was
Never gonna happen.
Over my
that was a good moment.
Thank you and good night. Jack, things are getting out of hand. The governor's breathing down the mayor's neck.
That's all. I just wanted to watch
What
that.
state are they in? Like, which
I
governor
don't
is
think
that?
it's kind of like a Springfield situation
I actually
where
think
it's like Virginia and Illinois.
I actually always thought I always thought it was Hawaii. That's just me.
Hawaii?
Yeah.
No.
Always.
This is definitely not Hawaii.
This is like there's. On a scale of 1 to Hawaii, this is like not Hawaii.
I just imagine it being a really tropical.
On a scale of 1 to Hawaii, it is.
It's
not.
just like the opposite side of.
I just imagine it being a really tropical state. No, but actually, though, I imagine
it's just not valid.
I imagine it being in like Wyoming.
Wyoming would be justifiable.
I actually always imagine this actually being in like a. Actually, in
you
a
know where I think it
metropolis.
happens? District of Columbia, near Tinleytown.
It could be District of Columbia. I do think that it could be DC in like an anarchist society where there's only one cop.
I feel like it's suitable for it to be like Arizona, if there was more desert.
It could be Arizona.
I just feel like this is more of a city. I feel like there's too much going on.
Well, this could be in Phoenix.
Maybe Michigan.
Like I was saying, I think it feels like Chicago
maybe
because of the
Illinois.
anarchy of it.
I was trying to think of like terms of like setting that we've seen.
Yeah.
Maine. We're in Maine.
Oh, this was pretty intense. PT's just like asking them for help and giving them their costumes back. But then in the end, he's like, "I don't need you guys."
I love this music in this scene.
This was pretty good music. I agree.
You did a good job.
I put it in.
You had a lot of other music going on, but I told you just keep this music. So it's just good driving beat.
Really good. I don't know if that's coherent.
Yeah,
what do you have against superheroes, Justin? It's funny because your character hates superheroes, but like you as a person created this show about superheroes.
I haven't thought about that actually.
Actually, you know what's funny? I showed this episode to Caitlin, my girlfriend, and when she saw that line, when Justin says, "Superheroes are always making a spectacle of themselves, the perfect targets for humiliation," Caitlin was like, "You know, that's actually true. Like, it's actually a good observation that like this show really is about like superheroes that are always making a spectacle of themselves, particularly Chris Pyle. Like Like,
I haven't thought about that.
Like, he really does make a spectacle of himself simply by filming these things in public, and it's good. No, he does a great job.
Not good enough.
But it's all about making a spectacle of themselves. It goes beyond what normal human beings do.
Well, it kind of actually ties. It kind of ties into a lot of the themes of the show, which are very based on like reputation and media and just the way you're viewed in the public in general. Like the ideas.
Oh, this
of,
is
like,
pretty intense. Watch this.
Perceptions. Ford did a really good job with the editing of this, by the way. But actually, though, it's just the whole thing with the media. It just continues with the PR themes, like the ideas of reputation. Just because you're a superhero doesn't mean you're like actually a superhero.
Oh, this show was pretty intense.
This was a good job editing-wise.
These insane stabilization in the music.
This was actually the last shot I think we
I
filmed
love
for the
this
episode.
shot. I think it's great.
Yeah. Makes me cream my jeans.
That got inappropriate.
That was inappropriate.
And I just.
I got that expression from Willoughby. I remember him saying that at one point. I don't remember the context. Again, he's got his gun like in his pocket. That's just dangerous. Like that's not an acceptable way to shoot a gun.
He can shoot himself in the dick and just end everything right there.
Way to be blatant about it. At least mine was covert.
I'm very blatant.
Oh, this was a good moment. Justin didn't even intend for the gun to go off right there, but I think it worked.
Yeah.
And then that moment where they're just not hitting each other.
Oh. You say that funny. You say the line so monotone.
Come
on, hold on, this is goal.
And then he just missed him. And you hear a punch.
This is a pretty intense moment going though. I have this sound that's like the winding up of wind.
Guys, we have to hold this moment. It's intense.
This is an intense stuff coming up. And then they like don't even help.
Yeah. after this scene, you should actually explain why you did it.
Door closes. Continuity error.
Yeah, but actually after this moment, you should explain why you did what you did.
I wouldn't do that. You know what this means to me, and you just tried to stop me again.
So actually, like Hopper's death was actually the whole episode and the final episode were actually built around this idea of Hopper's death, and it was an idea that Ford proposed as a way to write off Jeff in December. And initially, I was actually very opposed to the idea.
I'm super excited to see this next part.
I am.
Oh yeah. You haven't seen the rest of it.
I haven't even seen. I don't think we've seen most of it.
Justin technically hasn't seen the final cut.
It goes into like something that hasn't been done before with superheroes. We go back and we see like why this character.
And it's actually the next episode is ultra retrospective and nostalgic. And actually, there's some blank space at the beginning of it, which will give us a moment to like reflect or whatever without actually talking over an episode.
Yeah.
That's intentionally done, right? There's gonna be some blank space,
and that's like, I don't know, like Hopper's the thing was this the thing was with Hopper's death, and just the reason why is I've always been very careful about, even though I've been very careful about killing off characters in general, just because it's such a big moment, like just what it is realistically. That's what are you saying?
Oh, nothing. I was just gonna say I think that it will really help make the show continue on.
Yeah. And I also just think it's such a grand thing that if you want to do it, you have to do it right. And so, but the way you proposed and the way you figured it out, we made it feel like it worked.
Well, I didn't give nearly as much blank space as I thought that was going to be.
But this just covers everything before that, so we can talk over this.
I'm excited to watch this.
So here's our previously on, which basically just sets it up. But we're assuming that if someone's seen episode 5, they've probably seen.
Yeah, I didn't bother going beyond before episode 4. I was like, okay, if you're watching this, you have been watching the show. If not, you get left behind.
Episode 3 and episode 3.5 are pretty linked. Episode 4 and 5 are pretty linked. And then the other two kind of stand alone.
But they're more detailed.
Right, no, these two episodes go very kind of in-depth. And it's very retrospective. This 5th episode really does bring closure to a lot of topics of the series as a whole. And we will continue it to an episode 6. But in a sense, it really is like a pentology in terms of its story arc.
It gives you a lot of room to develop a lot of new ideas,
but also conclude what needs to be
right. It essentially concludes the idea of what the law is in this society with Jeff.
Yeah, if this whole episode was about the law and like kind of what it is to be a superhero, like this next thing you get really explore different ideas.
Right. I also want to point out that this first scene that you're going to end up watching was modified like 2 days before we actually shot it, and I think it ended up working out better.
It worked out way better.
And we'll try to be a little bit quieter for this final episode because it actually is a little bit more serious.
And additionally, it actually is not this actually version might not be the official final cut. It might be. We might like it enough where we don't want to, but
I would like for it to just be the final cut and be done with it. But here we go. And to anybody who couldn't realize or wasn't able to actually read it, that said best cop in the whole city, or goddamn city. Only cop in the goddamn city.
I'd have punched you square in the jaw.
Yeah, but you can't write goddamn city on a dozen donuts.
Won't get any ideas, Adam.
Luckily, we filmed this scene actually at the very end of the year, so Jeff was able to get shave and get a little bit of a haircut.
Yeah.
Give him my regards.
I'd probably lose his mind.
I like that you can actually see PT's acting here because he's pretty good.
You can actually see his face.
Yeah. I didn't want to make it be like, I can see his face.
Turner doesn't want me working with masks anymore.
That's a very valid request, actually. Like, yeah, you're a cop. You probably should work with masked vigilantes.
You don't have to tell me that, but I gotta agree with the attorney on this one. For one, he's my only superior. And for two, well, on this one, we sort of agree.
Why can't you work with Alpha anymore?
Because his approach has been violent, in ways that make me cringe. That's saying something. Now, he's got the right to be angry at a scumbag like the professor, but he doesn't have the right to take it out on every scumbag he meets.
But the professor
will be arrested and will pay for his crimes, but through the proper channels.
I suppose it's been hard balancing out the professor and Alpha.
Look, someday Alpha's gonna have to make a choice. Do you stand with the law? Or does he stand alone?
You're right.
Yeah, listen. Take some time off. Cool down a bit. Maybe.
Justin hasn't seen some of these edits that I've made since another rough cut of it, so we're giving each other thumbs up on a couple of things that are a little bit different than since he's last seen it.
Yeah.
I know that it's a little difficult for Justin because he's overwhelmed by how good it is.
Okay.
This is where Ford's ego comes into play.
My ego is always in play.
Yeah.
Is that an egotistical thing to say?
Yeah, you're Ron Burgundy, essentially.
I'm like Ron Burgundy meets Ron Swanson. They're both Ron. Oh, this was an intense moment.
This is kind of our way of bringing you back into the moment specifically. We had like a previously on, but this is like, welcome back. This guy just died.
Welcome back.
Yeah, that was pretty sad. Good makeup, by the way, on Madeline Torini's part for setting up that gunshot wound.
Yeah, Madeline Torini, for the record, is the best makeup artist I've met at American University in general. So, if she's still doing that stuff after you see the commentary, or she probably is, you should.
I don't like that they just leave him there, like.
Well, I mean, what are they going to do? They're not doctors.
Well, there's no cops they can call.
Yeah, they can't drag him.
They're the superheroes.
They can't drag his body out of there.
So what are they going to
do? They call the district attorney and me.
And you, of course.
That was actually one of my favorite shots I did for the show. Like, the shot.
You have a lot of favorite shots.
I do, actually. Like, I just liked it because it was a really good composition. Like, you got these two kind of looming in the back. And you're just kind of there, just.
I'm fine.
So Alpha escaped, right?
That's what I assume.
Why do you assume that?
He started to attack Hopper, so Christina and I tried to film it, and then we bolted out of there.
So what's with the camera?
After the live broadcast was shut down, I tried to film it on this.
So you have footage?
I mean, if you want to call it that.
I would say that. Oh, it's not even footage. It's just so bad. I mean, I'm generally so much better than this. I don't want to be attributed to this.
It's a very
this shaky camera.
It's a very film major thing to say.
Yeah.
Written by a film major.
PT looks into the camera and sees the viewfinder a little bit smaller because he's looking through the viewfinder.
This is referred to a comment I made about editing because I'm still not sure if I want this to be the final draft of our episode, but it probably will be because Ford will probably sass me out about it.
Yep.
Because it is also finals week.
It is also finals week.
Frankie brings a sense of necessary normalcy to the production
Today I
process.
filmed and edited a video of Obama. I don't have time for this.
Yes, you do.
And there's Ford's ego again.
Yeah.
Though it is cool.
That was a good moment.
Alright. If the professor left the studio, then... If the professor left the studio,
The professor
then
is gone. We don't know where he is. Hopper is dead. We're probably being hunted down for a crime we didn't commit.
That doesn't mean you can't make hypotheses.
This was actually one of my favorite scenes from an acting perspective for both of them. Like I always Daniela was pretty good when she came onto the show as an actress, but this is like the scene where Daniela just like knocked it out of the park, and it was like so. It was so great that like I singled out for a comment afterwards, and I felt, but then I felt bad, so I felt like Chris also did very good too. Because Chris did a very good job in the scene. It was one of his stronger scenes as an actor as well. So I was just like, I'm gonna comment on both of them. It was a field day for acting for them.
Crazy stabilization.
This was some good stabilization.
Very crazy stabilization.
You're welcome,
It
guys.
looks so cool though.
We already froze as a cow, so
I think it does.
Yeah, was it? But for future reference, though, we should probably like just give them a little more headroom for the stabilization because
you have to be wider to do stabilization because it zooms in to do so.
But this is one of my favorite scenes, random scenes from a lighting perspective. The lighting on him is so natural, actually. Like it's like really clear. And then
Justin likes his men all natural.
Yeah, yes, I do. But actually, though, the lighting in the scene is really good, and the way they did, both of them did it really well.
Look at that reaction shot.
This turned out really well. I like this.
Yeah, both of them did really good acting wise, and it made me really happy.
Well, they did really well.
Okay, Mr. Grammer.
It's late. Do you see this?
That doesn't make it acceptable.
FBI agent Adam Bell.
Agent Bell, there are rumors that you and D.A. Turner are no closer to finding the professor since his escape last week.
It's a difficult challenge, but we're considering all possibilities at this point.
So let me ask the question then. Did the professor kill Captain Hopper?
It was him.
How can you be so sure?
When you listen to his much-ignored past, it's more than plausible that he killed Captain Hopper.
It's him!
No!
Do you have a better idea?
No.
I don't. But I know we can't face Alpha alone.
Well, guess what? We are alone. There is no one else.
They have me. And Christine. A.k.a. Frankie.
Frankie being a misogynist. Me, the man.
Everyone. And be sure to
It's not because I'm the man, it's because I'm the best. That wasn't yielded. That didn't yield any laughs. Good job, Tim. This is actually a pretty creepy moment. Can you imagine if that happened to you?
It scared me so much.
Like the light turns on and Chris Pyle is standing next to you with a mask on.
We're reliable sources. You have to trust us.
What makes you reliable sources?
Do you have any proof?
Surely you have to have some footage.
Surely you can't be
look,
serious.
Now I don't have nail polish on, but before I was just in the studio and it was purple.
because you washed it off to have this conversation.
That's how nail polish works.
Bell. Agent Bell had the camera last.
Well, there you have it.
So why should
We have really good posture right now.
Journalistic integrity?
Yes, we do.
She has
Because we're that kind of people.
Yeah, it doesn't sit well with me.
Ford Fischer in a nutshell.
The best ratings of your career.
Now that...
You covered that up really well, because I was watching the clip and I was like, he doesn't have that much to give just a blank stare before reacting, so I was just like, that was a very good moment.
You can see my shoes in this.
I saw that when I was first month for that scene, I was like, oh, god damn it, Frankie.
I asked you. I brought my heels and I said, should I wear these? And you said, no, don't worry about it.
Oops.
It's okay.
That's funny.
So how'd you find him?
Wait, did you keep the ethics line? And I wasn't listening to that part.
When someone is suspected of murder, funds are typically...
Even I have bare ethics.
Yeah, I said that.
Okay, good. Because that's such a great moment. Because like even it's so crazy that even you are just like, I would never do that. I've like done. Me and Chrissy have done some really unethical things, but we never do that. Like your guys are like, okay. It kind of makes you a little more realistic in that sense. It gives you a bit of a sense of reason in a very crazy environment.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
The professor has been discovered.
Let's thank our heroes, the Masked Man and Fedora Girl.
I don't know why he brushes his teeth in his like living room.
We got him before even the police could.
That worked really well.
I know, I edited it.
Shut up, Ford. I like that little thing. You're just like, it's like your head does like a little Z snap thing. It's kind of cute, actually.
Okay. Thanks, I think.
It's kind of like a little sass.
Stop flirting, Justin.
Nah. No, I'm not.
I'm kidding.
What? Why is he not there?
Looking for
He's really good at hiding.
Where is the professor?
Oh, he's safe and sound.
He was just here. He was on live television.
Oh, that was pre-recorded.
Chris Pile's a sass master.
I like that moment. You kind of just combine everything that you need to. Good.
What's that supposed to mean?
Well, the way I see this playing out, Alpha,
Sassing.
is one of two ways. One,
sass master.
He's just really good in this scene. Like he's just like some. It's a much more visual scene for him acting wise.
we can't.
Good cue.
Yeah, that was really good. I like that.
It's a little bit Inception-ish, actually.
This is very like Hans Zimmer. I'm pretty sure Hans Zimmer wrote this.
I just love that the way that transitions really nicely. This is when Chris becomes a badass.
PT's face.
Peachy just takes it. He's just like, yeah, I deserved that. That black eye.
The bruise came very fast.
I deserve that ham steak on my face.
Chris Pile just does it Chris Brown style.
Oh!
Wow, that got racy really fast.
It was funny though.
So what are you gonna do with me?
It's not like Rihanna's ever gonna watch it.
That'd be funny. Then again, I just found out today that Oliver Stone posted a video of mine.
Assaulted a
federal officer?
So that could happen.
So
Maybe Rihanna will post superheroes.
Yeah.
Because she's inspired by the punching scene. This is
good.
awful.
Good transition. Good, Forty. Good transition. You got that interruption right. And I like this a lot. You got the pace that I was looking for with that moment.
The events known as Alphagate might have officially come to a close. Alpha was sentenced to life in prison for the murder of Captain Jack Hopper.
But the events of Alphagate continue. David Wright and Patricia Parker, aka the Masked Man and Fedora Girl, received medals today from the district attorney.
However, D.A. Turner has not yet announced who will fill in as captain of the police.
Have you ever thought about
This was one of the most annoying scenes that we filmed for the entire episode because we filmed it outside of an elevator that was actually very busy for like 9:45 on like a Tuesday night or some shit like that. It was like really
some shit. A day is shit.
No,
a day of the week.
No, but it was the most random time for an elevator. It's the most random time for an elevator to keep going off because it was 9:45 and it was a Tuesday night, and so like
Yeah.
It was very out of character and like, but it was the best location in terms of both decent sound and visuals actually, so we used it.
Gonna give his job to us?
Yeah.
Well, you could tell he's sad, or his character's sad.
Yeah, they're turning him down.
Well, and Jack Hopper's dead also.
That too.
By the way, there's one more thing.
This is pretty intense. This is pretty good.
I'm excited. It took a while to film, but he did a really good job with it.
Yeah, Jeff did great.
Captain Jack Hopper, first and only officer of the first and only precinct. This is to be played in the event of my death. Most likely at the hands of some guy in a mask.
It's funny that as we're recording this, there's a recording thing at the bottom, and it kind of matches.
I know.
Alright, but now we'll watch
As
the
current officer,
compilation.
I believe it is my duty to instruct my successor, whoever that may be. So listen up. This is the best you get.
I like this music.
Me too, that's why I used it.
You will be the only official form of
This is
law.
what you'll have to deal with next year.
No, she won't. I only do this to Justin. Or in the presence
Oh,
of Justin.
thanks.
Than any cop should ever have to face. Face public adversity. An untested legal system. Pushy officials and much...
That's such a good shot put for him. He was just like, meh.
Now, just because you're the only official system, that doesn't mean you're alone. All these masks are, admittedly, a huge pain in the ass. At best, they're inept. At worst, psychotic.
Good transition.
Now, it may sound like I'm breaking my rule, passing judgment. I'm not. I'm simply stating facts. And I know for a fact that I could not do my job without them. And I'd never let them do my job for me. For one, it's completely unethical. For two, would make me look good. But you can trust them.
Good timing with the music.
You can let them
That was
help.
really cool. Very good times with the moment.
More often than not, they'll be on your side. This is Captain Jack Hopper, signing off.
Yeah, throwback.
That was fun.
And now the show's yours.
Now. Not tomorrow night.
Pretty much tomorrow night, yeah.
Or I guess it's tonight.
No, literally right now. Justin has no more reign over this.
Yeah.
If Frankie has any suggested edits, she may explain them, but Justin has no more control.
But yeah, like,
I will request to the current general manager, who's now Geet, that Justin's status of being able to swipe into ATV is revoked.
they're gonna revoke it anyway after I graduate. You don't have to You don't have to make this.
Get it done early.
Don't take it away from him.
It's gonna be taken away regardless. I don't pay the student activities.
I really like the way we ended up writing.
Yeah, like we did a good job. Like I was gonna hold out my hand for a high five. But
high fives, everybody. We only got like 5 seconds left. Thank you, everybody who watches this. All 10 of you.
Thank you for the experience.